for this tutorial, I'm going to be using my size 4mm hook as always, my scissors and my yarn. So I noticed that I don't really say the name of the yarns that I use, and that's because most of the yarns are either leftover yarns or donated yarns. So most of the time I hardly remember the name of the brand. So yeah, let's just get started with the tutorial. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be working with 4 panels, the front and the back panel, and then the sleeves. So to get started, I'm going to start with the back panel first. So you're going to measure from your shoulder down to where you want the top to stop. Depends on how cropped or how long you want the top to be. So now for my foundation chain, I'm going to start by making a chain of 60. So I have a total of 60 chains. Now for the first row, I'm going to chain 1 and go into the next chain with 1 double crochet. So for this tutorial, I'm only going to be working with the double crochet stitch. So just put 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get to the end of the row. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So just continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get to the end of the row. I've come to the end of the row. For row 2, I'm going to chain 1, turn over, and continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch. So like I said, I'm only going to be working with the double crochet stitch. So what you're going to do is you're going to continue with 1 double crochet back and forth till you have the amount of rows you want for your size. So I'm just going to continue with this, and I'll let you know how many rows of double crochet I do when I get the amount of rows that fits my size. So I did a total of 5 rows of double crochet. Now for the next step, I already used my stitch marker to mark off 18 stitches away from this end. So from the stitch marker down to this end, I have 18 stitches. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chain 1. And put 1 double crochet in each stitch till I get to where the stitch marker is. I've gotten to where my stitch marker is, and I'm just going to go into the stitch with 1 double crochet. Now you can remove the stitch marker. Chain 1, turn over. So you're going to just walk back and forth along this the stitches. So you're going to ignore the rest of the stitches. So chain 1, turn over, go into each stitch with 1 double crochet. So now I've come to this end. I'm going to chain 1, turn over, and continue with 1 double crochet. So you're just going to continue with one double crochet back and forth till you have the length you want, and then we're going to work on the next step. I'll just continue with this and I'll let you know how many rows of double crochet I do for this middle part before we move over to the next part of the top. But for now, just like keep on going back and forth with one double crochet. So each time you come to the end, chain one, turn over and work back and back and forth with one double crochet in each stitch. I did a total of 22 rows, making it a total of 27 because we have 5 rows plus 22 rows, 27 rows. So now what I'm going to do is the lower part of the front panel. So I use my stitch marker to mark up the area I want to be open. So I marked off 14 stitches from this end. So the amount of stitches I have from the stitch marker down to this end is 14 stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my yarn at this end. So now that my yarn is attached, I'm just going to chain one. Now just put one double crochet in each stitch till you get to where the stitch marker is. So you're repeating what you did for the upper part of the front panel. The same thing you did for this part is what you're going to do for this part. So you just put in one double crochet till you get to where the stitch marker is. So now I've gotten to where my stitch marker is. I'm just going to go into that stitch with one double crochet. Now chain one and turn over. So like I said, this area is going to be open. So you're just going to leave the amount of stitches you want, depending on how wide you want the hole to be or how narrow you want the hole to be. I'm just putting one double crochet in each stitch. So from this point down to this end, I have a total of 28 stitches. So if you remember, I have 18 stitches and plus the 14 stitches that were left open, that's 32 stitches. So plus 28 stitches, making it a total of 60 stitches. So now, like I said, I'm going to be repeating what I did for the upper part of the front panel. So I'm just going to be working back and forth with one double crochet till I have a total of 22 rows, because I have a total of 22 rows for the up panel. So I'm going to do this till I have a total of 22 rows. I'm done with the lower part of the front panel, and I did a total of 22 rows. So plus the 5 rows, making it a total of 27 rows, which is the same thing I did for the upper part of the front panel. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my yarn at this end to connect these two panels. Now you're going to make the amount of chains you have for this point. So since I have 14 chains in between these two panels, I'm going to make a chain of 14. So now I have 14 chains. I'm going to connect these chains to this other end. So now I've joined the two panels together. So from here, I'm just going to continue. So I still have my yarn at this end. I'm going to continue with one double crochet back and forth. So since I have a total of 5 rows at this end, I'm going to do 5 rows of double crochet. So chain 1, going to the stitch with 1 double crochet, going to the next stitch with 1 double crochet. So just continue with 1 double crochet till you get to the end. So you're going to continue with 1 double crochet even in the chain stitch till you get to the end of the row. So now I've come to the chain stitch. I'm going to go into each of the stitch with 1 double crochet. So now I've come to the end of the chain stitch. Just continue with 1 double crochet till you get to the end of the row. Now I'm at the end of the row. So like I said, I'm going to work back and forth with 1 double crochet till I have a total of 5 rows. So the amount of rows you have at the beginning is the amount of rows you have at the end. So if you did a total of 2 to 3 rows, you're going to do a total of 2 to 3 rows. It all depends on how many rows you have at the beginning. So since I have 5 rows, I'm going to continue with 1 double crochet back and forth till I have a total of 5 rows. So now I'm done with the front panel, and I did a total of 5 rows at this end because I had a total of 5 rows at the beginning. Now I'm going to join the front and the back panel together. So I'm just going to place the back panel. And then you're going to place the front panel beside in front of the back panel, sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch the shoulder panel on both sides. So you're going to just attach your yarn, and then I'm going to stitch the sides the shoulder panel with a single crochet, or you can use your yarn needle. It all depends on you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I stitched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I stitched 10 rows from this end, and I'm just going to cut my yarn and repeat the same at this end. I'm going to stitch 10 rows. So it depends on how wide you want the neck hole to be. So now I've stitched the shoulder panels. I'm going to stitch the both side of the panels and leave a space for the armhole. So what you're going to do is you're going to stitch all the way to where you want to stop, depending on how wide you want the armhole to be. Now I'm done joining the two panels together. So for the sleeves, I'm going to start by making the amount of chains I want for the length of my sleeve. So I have a total of 25 rows. You can make it longer or shorter. It depends on the length you want for your sleeve. But I'm going for a short sleeve, so I have a total of 25 chains, sorry. Now chain 1 and just continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch. So you're repeating what you did for the body of the top. You're just going to be putting 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get the amount of rows that is going to fit on your armhole. So just going to be working 1 double crochet back and forth, and I'll let you know how many rows of double crochet I do when I'm done. I'm done with the sleeves, and for the sleeves I did a total of 26 rows, and I just joined the two ends together and attached the sleeves to the top, which is what I did for the other sleeve. So now we're practically done with the top. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly attach my yarn at one end of the hole. So you can skip this step or you can go around with 1 single crochet, it depends on you. So now that I've attached my yarn, I'm going to go around the hole with 1 single crochet. So just put 1 single crochet in each stitch till you get back to this end. Like I said, you can skip this step, but I don't want the hood to be too wide, so I'm just trying to make it more secured. Don't even know if that's the right word to use. So I'm done going around with 1 single crochet, and this is what the top looks like. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, but if there's anything you don't understand, you can always leave a comment down in the comment section, which I'm going to reply. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.